Hello and welcome to Bags of Action. My name is Pete and this is a 5-minute Bags of Action review of Legend from 2015. Identical twin gangsters Ronald and Reginald Kray terrorised London during the 1960s. This version of the Kray story was written and directed by Brian Helgeland, who wrote films like LA Confidential, Conspiracy Theory, Mystic River and Man on Fire, and also wrote and directed Payback, A Knight's Tale, The Order and 42. This film is based on the book The Profession of Violence by John Pearson. Pearson was actually hired by the Kray twins in 1967 to write their biography, and over the next several years, when they were in jail, he kept in touch with them. So it's as close to the truth, or a version of the truth, as you're probably going to get on film. It was a really good cast in this film, in Legend. Tom Hardy playing the twins. Christopher Eccleston is in this. Emily Browning, who I knew from Sucker Punch, she plays Frances Shay, who's also the narrator and in many ways is the heart of the film. Then you've got people like Tara Fitzgerald, David Thewlis, Taron Egerton, essentially a who's who of British actors. Almost feels like a Harry Potter movie when there's so many recognisable British faces on the screen. Now, I'm not really sure why I didn't watch this when it came out, as I really like Tom Hardy, and I've been a fan of Helgeland's work since back when I first saw Conspiracy Theory, and I actually went out and bought the screenplay of that film. But back in 1990, I enjoyed The Krays, which starred the Kemp brothers from Spandau Ballet, but I don't remember that much about it specifically. I know bits and pieces of the Krays story from watching other true crime sort of documentaries, but so it was interesting to see what a fresh take, what would happen with a new version of this story, particularly being made by an American rather than a British writer-director. Now, in Legend, 60s London is rather stylised, and that combined with the narration by Frances gives the film an almost surreal quality at times, which is often at odds with the harshness of the story and the violence contained within it. The acting, however, is impressive throughout the film. Browning is superb as the strong but vulnerable teenager who falls for Reggie Kray, and Hardy gives a powerhouse performance playing both brothers. They look and speak differently. Their mannerisms, how they hold themselves, how they fight, you really do forget that one actor is playing both roles. Having said that, in many ways this is Reggie's story, and Ronnie takes a back seat for long chunks of the film. And that's the kind of thing that holds this film back. Like many biopics, you're restrained by the real-life events lacking the ebb and flow and rising tension of a manufactured plot. At times it feels a bit like a child's school report about the summer holidays. And then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, etc. Now you do feel for Frances throughout the piece, and there are times when you have sympathy and empathy for both the Kray twins. But there is so much they do as the story progresses that is stomach-turning. So much that makes you not want to know about their life. On occasion I catch myself thinking, is this glamorising these two gangsters and their men who work for them? The film does fall a little bit into that. Attaching the swinging 60s to the two men and their celebrity status made me feel a bit uncomfortable. Although their influence over British politics is an interesting parallel today, when Russian oligarchs seem to be the bad boy rich influence on politics rather than East End, West End gangsters. One of the best parts of the film actually is a section where they describe how similar the aristocracy are to gangsters. Now, when there is violence in this film, as you'd expect, it's brutal. There's a fight in a pub, which I'd actually seen prior to the rest of the movie, which is particularly well handled. And when Reggie and Ronnie fight one another, that's a powerful, destructive and hard to watch sequence. Did I learn anything new about the Krays in this retelling of the story? A little. Did I enjoy it? Not that much. I appreciated the craft that went into it. The music and cinematography are spot on, and as I say, the acting is really good. But this was a hollow tale, one with a meandering plot and one which left you wishing Frances had never met the Kray family, so it would never have existed. I'm not sure what I was looking for, but despite watching some award-winning acting, the whole experience just left me somewhat cold. So, with all that considered, I was a bit disappointed, and I'm only going to give Legend 2 bags of action out of 5. Have you seen Legend? Do you agree with my assessment of it? Feel free to comment below or get in touch with us via email, Facebook or Twitter. We have new episodes coming out weekly alongside our full-length podcast. And don't forget to give this video a like, to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to get notifications. Bags of Action will always be free, but if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do that at our Ko-fi page.